In this video, we'll reset an unknown combination on a KABA simplex 1000 lock with a new style chamber. There is no procedure for determining an unknown combination from the front of the lock. The process for finding the lost combination and/or resetting the combination requires the disassembly of the lock. A lost combination must be cleared by removing the combination chamber from the lock housing, and then a new combination can be set. The chamber linkage differs between a 1000 lock and an L1000 lock. Notice that the 1000 holds a single chamber linkage, while the L1000 has a double chamber linkage. In order to clear the lost combination, you must first disassemble the lock to get to the 5 code gears. First, remove the backplate from the front lock housing by removing the 6 backplate screws. Next, remove the 2 Phillips head screws securing the guide bracket to the front housing. Grasp the guide bracket and slide it back to disengage it from the clutch linkage. Lift the 2 chamber links off the control shaft by using a small flat blade screwdriver. Mark the links to ensure proper reassembly. Remove the combination changer by removing the Phillips head screws at each end of the chamber and then remove the shaft bushing from the control shaft. Hold the chamber in one hand by the screw tabs on each end, with the key stems facing you and the control shaft at the bottom. Using pliers or equivalent, rotate the control shaft counterclockwise and release to clear the chamber. Section 2. Reset the code gear. Look at the 5 code gears through the rectangular windows in the chamber's dust cover. If any of the code gear pockets are already at the shear line or open position, ignore them. They are not used in the code. You can tell if the code gear is at the shear line or open position by noting if the L-shaped feet are already aligned with the mating gear pocket. Look through the rectangular window in the chamber's dust cover. Find the code gear pockets that are farthest away from the shear line or the open position. Depress the key stem or stems and release. If any digits in the combination were depressed together at the same time, then these must be depressed together to reset the combination. Find the code gear that is next furthest away from the shear line or open position and depress that key stem, and then release. Repeat the process for the next code gear that is furthest away until you have all the code gear pockets lined up at the shear line or open position. If any of the code gear pockets travel past the shear line, the key stems have been depressed in the wrong sequence, and you will need to start the procedure over. Depress the lockout slide at the top of the chamber and release. Using pliers or equivalent, rotate the control shaft counterclockwise and release to clear the chamber. The lockout slide should pop out, but the button underneath will stay depressed. Section 3. Change the code. To change the combination to a known one, depress the key stem or stems for the chosen combination, releasing each after it's depressed. In this case, the new combination will be 5, 2 and 4 together, and then 1. Once all the digits in the new combination have been depressed, use the pliers to rotate the control shaft clockwise. The code change button underneath the lockout slide will pop up. The new combination is now set. Check to confirm that the code gear pockets for the numbers in the new combination are not at the shear line or open position. Section 4. Lock reassembly. Once the combination has been reset, the lock will need to be reassembled. Resecure the shaft bushing with the flat side facing up. Reinstall the chamber into the lock, and secure the combination chamber with the 2 Phillips head screws you removed earlier. Resecure the chamber links onto the control shaft exactly as they were removed. For the 1000 model, there is only one chamber link to be installed. When working on an L1000 model, in the right-hand locks, C goes on first, and then D. For the left-hand locks, D goes on first, and then C. On the L1000 models only, replace the guide bracket by aligning the clutch linkage in the guide bracket and secure with the 2 Phillips head screws previously removed. Be aware that right-hand lever locks require the drive shaft pins to be vertical with the front lock housing, and left-hand lever locks require the drive shaft pins to be horizontal with the front lock housing. Replace the backplate and secure it with the 6 backplate screws. To ensure the lock passage feature works when reassembled, vertically align the shaft on the turn knob passage set assembly to match the slot on the passage actuator. The process is complete once you have reassembled the lock and confirmed the new combination works properly. Always test the new combination with the door open